I did. My daughter's obsessed with Japan, so she always wanted to come. So it was her spring break, so we brought her. I went to something called Team Lab here, and I met those guys that run Team Lab. That is awesome. That was beautiful. You know, there's a room that it looks like it's raining, all different colors. And they gave her the remote, so she was changing the color, so she had the time of her life. And then I went to Disneyland during spring break, and there's an app that you can use when you get in the park, and we get there and it's full, like no rides, there's no restaurants that are open. But then we stayed in this little hotel that, like, the room was the size of this great thing, but it had bunk beds and there was like vines and princess stuff on the wall, so she had the greatest times. I basically slept on the floor and suffered, so she Yeah, I haven't been here in a while doing something like this. I have a soft spot for Japan. I used to live in Japan. I used to live in Moto Okubo in Chiba. So I dropped out of high school and moved there because my mom moved there. And so some of my favorite late teen memories are from Japan. I started this thing, Big Bald Head, which is a big bald head on everything, which has a crazy story. That when the earthquake happened here, way back when, I'd made these 3 short films. They were all super weird, but I was selling them on DVDs for relief here. That was like right after that happened. But yeah, I have friends here. Besides Hideo, I have a lot of good friends here. I really like Japan. There's some dessert called Bearded Man or something like that. Yeah, that. I guess in an interview way back when, somebody gave me one, and I'd start off going, "Oh my god, I just had this thing. It was delicious." And I guess it became a meme. So I'm expecting Osaka to get a lot of bearded papa. Bearded papa, is that right? I'm not even sure what it is, to be honest. I'm sure I will. I have dinner with him after Osaka and go to his new studio. Hideo and I talk quite a bit, actually. I just did more ADR for Death Stranding 2 in New York. I had a crazy schedule. I was here like 3 weeks ago for spring break. I went to Disneyland. Crazy. But then I went back to New York and I worked with him. I've been working with him forever. He's great. I might be in the audience asking like stupid questions. Mads, can I get a selfie? He's cool too. I talked to Mads right before I came. I have a film I did called The Bike Riders. It's with Austin Butler and Tom Hardy, Jodie Comer, a bunch of Michael Shannon, a bunch of really good actors in it. So while I was filming in Paris, I was flying back and forth to Ohio to shoot that. If you watch the trailer for it, I'm in the trailer, but nobody can tell it's me because I look insane. I met Jeff Nichols in Cannes, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing a movie, would you like to play a part in it?" And then I read it, and I was like, dude, this movie has so many good-looking guys in it, and you're gonna be smoking in slow motion with their collars popped. Can I try something? He goes, yeah, do whatever you want. So I came the first time to Ohio, and I had Greg Nicotero, who's been here before, make me these rotted teeth. So I have like really rotted teeth, and I had this big beard and this hair. I'm supposed to be a Hell's Angel that comes from California and joins their biker club in Ohio, and just everything goes wrong after I show up. But those actors, like, I just did some press with them in New York, with Austin and Jodie and Boyd Holbrook. And what happened was I showed up on set, right? I have to ride a 1950s panhead with a suicide shift. And, you know, the handlebars are up here, my knees are up here, and the cast hadn't met me yet, right? And so I'm waiting for the first AD to give me the go-ahead, and I'm up on top of a hill, and it just rained, and it's a huge hill. There's like 1,000 extras partying in a field, and I'm up here, and I hadn't met them yet, the cast. They haven't seen me like this, right? And they're looking all super cool. So I'm up here, and there's a rubber ducky on the suicide shift that's in bronze, and I can't touch the rubber ducky or it's gonna break off. So I'm shifting with my 2 little fingers, trying to thread the thing like this, trying to find the gears in this outfit with his teeth, trying to trouble it. And right before he does this, the makeup artist has these cool old pink sunglasses. And I'm like, yo, can I wear your sunglasses? And she's like, yeah, and I put them on. I'm like, waiting, I'm like, wait, are these prescription? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, oh, and I'm like, screw it. And I just rode through all these extras on this bike. It was impossible to ride. And then I get off the bike, and I look like a maniac. I get off the bike and I walk up to Tom and Austin and Jodie, and they're all sitting on this bench, and they're looking at me like, and talking to me the same, right? I give this little speech, and they're looking at me like, what is he doing, right? And I'm thinking to myself, this is either gonna be really good or really bad. Like super nervous. I just saw it, it's really good, but at the time I was super nervous. Everyone's just looking at me like, But I didn't want to look like Daryl Dixon in the show because I've been Daryl Dixon forever, so I try to look different when I do stuff. I was also flying back and forth to Prague to shoot Ballerina, which is a John Wick spinoff with Anna de Armas. And they just added a bunch of extra fight scenes for me right before I came here. I was in Budapest, and I fought like a 7-foot German who's a martial arts expert, and he just was like kicking me in the head, kicking me in the side, and I'm like snapping this guy's neck and pop, and kicked me all over. My elbow hurts right now, and then I came here. So those two things. And then I have a production company. I have a first look deal at AMC, so I have Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, that Russ Myers film. We're making that to a television show with Amanda Kramer's doing it right now. I have Edward Gorey, Neglected Murderesses thing I'm making into a TV show. I have a Taika Waititi project I'm doing. I have a Jim Henson project I'm doing, and a bunch of others.